Before beginning, I'd like to talk about my engravers.
One is the Yokefellow and one is my Ink Me This engraver. So this is my Ink Me This engraver, and this here is the latest Yokefellow one. This one has a detachable cord for the handpiece, and the cord can also be detached from the handpiece itself. It makes for easy storage while traveling, and I love this feature. Here also you can detach it from the main body, but you cannot detach it from the main handpiece. So it is slightly bulky as compared to the Yokefellow. These are known as the hand pieces, or these are the engraving pens. So this one is from Ink Me This. It's a sleek metal pen and it has something called the collet. Now this is what is a collet. It is a super useful thing, and make sure that you take care and don't lose this. Now let me tell you what a collet is. The collet is actually an attachment which is used to fix the burr inside the engraving pen. So you put the burr inside the collet and then your burr is properly fixed. So right now you can just adjust how much ever burr you want out or in according to your preference, and then we can simply put the collet back in the engraving pen. And now all you have to do is lock it in place. Now you will see that the burr is not moving. It is fixed nicely inside the pen. Even if you shake it, it's not falling off. And that's how we want our collet to be. Now let's see what happens if we try to fix the burr without the collet. If you use it without the collet, what happens is the burr is totally shaking. You just cannot engrave with this. If you begin engraving without the collet, what happens is the burr will fall off. So collet is the most important part of your engraving pen. It's very easy to lose the collet, but it is very difficult to get a replacement collet. Now let's look at the Yokefellow one. So in Yokefellow also you have this lock and unlock button. So you just need to unlock it first, and Yokefellow also has a collet hidden inside. So if you see nicely, the collet is somewhat triangular from the inside. The collet won't come off when the handpiece is locked. See, it is nice and tight. And now we will fix a burr inside this collet. First unlock it, and then I will affix the burr inside. Now this is very different from the Ink Me This. This is a very long burr. So you put it all the way inside the collet. जितना अंदर जाता है जाने दीजिए उसको. And then you have to lock it in place. सिर्फ टर्न करना है, लॉक हो जाता है, and see the burr is fixed. Make sure it doesn't fall off before you start the engraving. Now let's talk about the different burr sizes that we can use with the Ink Me This engraver. I use these three different types of burrs. They are of different widths and they are also known as the dental burrs. And in Yokefellow, I have just ordered this one medium sized burr. These are known as nail drill bits because Yokefellow is essentially a nail drill. In Ink Me This, the first burr is BR46 burr, and this is the medium sized burr. So if you open it and see inside, it's a medium burr. It's not very thick and not very thin. This is the burr which is used for most engravings, the most commonly used one. Next is this, which is the BR30 burr, and this one is like a really thick head. So if you see it is so thick. The ball on top is really thick. This is used for engraving on wine bottles or whenever you want to engrave on a bigger surface where you need more bold letters. So it is not very frequently used. And the third one are these, which are the BR48F in orange box. These are the thinnest burrs. Now look at these. They are so thin on their heads. These are particularly used when you are engraving maybe on a watch or a piece of jewelry, or you want to do engraving on a very small surface. So this is definitely one of the most less used burrs. Now let us talk about the Yokefellow ones. In Yokefellow, I have separately ordered these burrs from Amazon, and these are only medium sized burrs, but I've got like 30 of them in one pack, and these are really long as compared to the Ink Me This ones. In this box, I've also got this brass collet. So let me take it out and show it to you. So you can see this is a brass collet. It's round from inside, and if I take one of these burrs and try to fix it, you see it holds the burr nicely, nice and proper. So I'll just put it away safely because it can come in handy. Now let's talk about the main body of the engravers. So we'll talk about Ink Me This first. It has this round dial to switch it on and switch it off. Also the pause button is here. So as you rotate the dial, you'll be able to switch it on. And on the left side, you have this forward reverse button, which is suitable for left and right handed calligraphers. And here on the right side, you have this point through which you can charge the engraver. It also has a nice holder to keep your handpiece. It is made of good plastic, so your handpiece is safe when you're not engraving. Now let me turn it on and show it to you. And that is the sound you'll hear when you turn it on. And this is the maximum speed, 35,000 RPM. And yes, this constant buzz is quite loud, and it will get even louder when you touch it to a surface while engraving. Now let's talk about the Yokefellow engraver. This one has a start, stop and pause button on top, this one. You just have to long press it to start the engraver. So this is the output which can be used for charging, and there's also an input here. So this Yokefellow machine can also be used as a power bank. It's quite slim and sleek. You also have this rotating dial on the face of the machine. This is to adjust the speed. Let's turn it on. Even at maximum speed of this 40,000 RPM, it's barely audible. And see how silent it is? That's why Yokefellows work great for on-sites. This Yokefellow machine also has a forward and reverse button, which is suitable for left and right-handed calligraphers. And that's it about both these engravers. Now let's quickly get started.